Alex Eala has done something Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, and Novak Djokovic, 66 Grand Slam titles between them, never once pulled off. She sold out Toronto Wednesday night, the National Bank Open, an early round weekday match that would normally draw a few hundred casual fans on a muggy summer evening. The moment organizers announced Iala's name in that slot, the tickets were gone. Not in hours, not by end of day, gone. A source with deep knowledge of the ticketing data told Tennis Connected exactly what that means. Only Serena Williams has done this in the last 20 years. Not Federer, not Nadal, not Djokovic. The three greatest men's players this sport has ever produced, combined, could not do what a 21-year-old from Manila just did without stepping foot on Canadian soil. We're watching something genuinely historic unfold in real time. And if you're new here, this channel covers every chapter of it. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications right now because this story is moving fast and you don't want to catch it late. Now, back to Toronto. The last time anything close to this happened was 2022, when Serena Williams announced her retirement in a Vogue essay and Toronto completely lost its mind. 12,500 people packed the stadium. Another 5,000 watched on outdoor screens because the building literally could not hold the demand, the entire city turning out to say goodbye to a legend. That was a farewell. This is an arrival, and here's what makes it truly remarkable. Iala is ranked 20th in the world, no Grand Slam title. No former world number one next to her name. Just a 21-year-old from a country that had never produced a tennis player of this magnitude, somehow outselling the sport's all-time greats at the gate before a single ball is struck. This didn't come from nowhere. The signs have been building all year. At the Australian Open in January, organizers placed her first-round match on Court 6, a small outside court holding just 1,500 people. What followed was something Melbourne Park had never seen. Thousands of fans flooded the grounds. A queue stretched hundreds of yards through the park. Security had to clear the area as the crowd outgrew every barrier in place. Martina Navratilova stepped in publicly, saying organizers needed to think far more carefully about where players come from and who actually shows up to watch them. Eala's pre-tournament press conference that week pulled 171,000 viewers online. Carlos Alcaraz drew 29,000, Iga Swiatek 29,000, Aryna Sabalenka 9,000. She was the single most watched player at the Australian Open, and she hadn't won a set yet. In Dubai, Jessica Pegula could hear Eala's fans from inside her hotel room. At Wimbledon, where tickets are nearly impossible to get regardless of who's playing, Eala walked out to find her corner of the stands buried in Philippine flags. In Washington, tournament chairman Mark Ein revealed that 80% of all ticket inquiries for the entire event were specifically about one player, her, now Toronto. And Toronto isn't just any stop on the calendar. The Greater Toronto Area is home to over 250,000 Filipinos, 62% of the entire Filipino-Canadian population in the country. Ontario alone holds an estimated 363,000 people of Filipino descent. When Eala's name appeared on the entry list, it stopped being a sporting event and became something else entirely. It became a homecoming, because that's what this phenomenon really is at its core. It's not just tennis, it's a diaspora. Nurses from Birmingham, engineers from Berlin, students from Melbourne, families from Toronto, all scattered across the world, all fiercely connected to home and now fiercely connected to her. Wherever Eala plays, a flag appears, then another. Then chants in Tagalog rise through the stands and the entire atmosphere transforms into something the sport has rarely felt before on any court at any level. Mary Jo Fernandez put it simply, she brings a whole new demographic and crowd to watch our sport. Andy Roddick went further. This is a movement within tennis that didn't exist a few years ago. She's attracting fans in the most committed, passionate way possible. If you've been watching this movement grow and you haven't dropped a like on this video yet, do it now. It helps more people find this story, and honestly, a story this big deserves to be seen. And Eala herself, after her victory in Washington, a reporter asked what it felt like to be so celebrated around the world. She didn't talk about her own journey. She didn't take the moment for herself. She redirected. I think the question should be rephrased, she said. What's it like to be Filipino? Then two words her fans will never forget. Salamat kabayan. Thank you, countrymen. She could have made it about herself. She had every right to. Instead, she turned the spotlight around and pointed it at every single person in those stands. That's not media training, that's character. But while the world was still processing Washington, her first WTA title, victories over an Olympic gold medalist, a defending champion, and the world number 3, the calendar had already moved on without pause. The final against Pegula stretched across 2 days, suspended twice by rain and lightning. She finished it Monday afternoon, then boarded a flight to Toronto, time zone adjustment, media obligations, recovery, practice. By the time she stepped onto Canadian soil, she had played 5 matches in 5 days, with barely 24 hours to reset before the next one began. That is the brutal arithmetic of professional tennis. No parades, no time to breathe in what you've just accomplished. The sport does not wait for you to feel it, and yet, here's what she said after lifting that Washington trophy. "I think I ended the tournament in better shape than I started. Each match I kept improving and kept learning things about myself. No complaints, no excuses, just forward." Her opening match in Toronto carried its own storyline, layered on top of everything else. Waiting across the net, Alicia Parks, the same Alicia Parks who bajilled Iala in the first set of their Australian Open meeting 6-0, 6-3. The kind of scoreline that breaks players mentally, the kind of result you either let haunt you or you study until it becomes fuel. Iala chose fuel. She climbed from 49th in the world to a career-high 20th. She won her first title. She beat players Parks could only dream of facing in a given week. And Parks is no pushover, a 6'1" powerhouse with a serve clocked at 129 miles per hour, matching a Mark Venus Williams set back in 2007. The kind of raw power that can blow anyone off the court on the right day. But Iala's game has evolved significantly since Melbourne. Sharper angles, better reads under pressure, and a composure that simply does not crack, not under noise, not under the weight of expectation, not under a full stadium of 12,500 people chanting her name, which is exactly the environment waiting for her in Toronto. Beyond Parks, the draw was not kind. Reigning Wimbledon champion Linda Noskova lurks in the bracket, a player who beat Iala twice already this year, including at Indian Wells. Marie Buskova, Belinda Bencic, Sloane Stephens, and close friend Eva Liss also fill the draw. The path forward is lined with landmines at every turn, but Iala doesn't look at draws the way most players do. She locks in on the next match, the next opponent, the next opportunity to prove that Washington wasn't a ceiling, it was a floor. After her win over Svitolina, she said, "There are so many things I've learned about what it takes to stay at this level. I'm just at the beginning of this long process, and I'm really excited for what's ahead." The beginning, that's genuinely how she sees it. Not the peak, not the arrival. The beginning, 12,500 seats. Sold out, a stadium packed with flags, with noise, with belief, ready to erupt the moment she walks through that tunnel. The 250,000 Filipinos of the Greater Toronto Area didn't just buy tickets to a tennis match. They bought into a story, one that started on the courts of Manila and has now reached some of the grandest stages the sport has to offer. What began in Australia, grew in Dubai, exploded in Washington, and has now crossed an international border into Canada. Alex Eala has done what only one woman in the last 20 years has done, and she is not a farewell tour. She is not a legend saying goodbye. She is 21 years old. She has won 1 title. She is, by her own words, just getting started. Toronto is about to find out exactly what that means. If this story moved you, subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. We cover every major moment in tennis as it happens. The upsets, the records, the history being written in real time. Don't be the person who finds out about it a week later. Join the community now, and we'll see you in the next one. The phenomenon is real. Alex Mania has arrived in Canada, and the world is watching.